Hello, everybody. This is Between Sundays podcast, and I'm Discipleship Pastor Joel Ward here at Rainbow Forest. And today we got a couple of guests with us, a mom and daughter combo, and I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
My name is Katie Bjorklund, and I live in Troutville, and we've been at Rainbow Forest for about 4 or 5 years, I think.
All right.
And I'm Abby. I'm her daughter.
All right. And now there's two more members of the family that aren't here in the room.
That's right.
And who are they?
So Mark is my husband, and then Sammy is my son. He is 15.
15?
Yeah, Abby is 18.
18. College?
Yes, I am currently going to Virginia Western. I just finished my first year. I will be starting up again on August 24th. I'm studying engineering.
Nice. And Sammy, he's just all around good guy. Love that guy.
He's a great guy.
Fun, energy.
Yep.
Upbeat. He's awesome.
Best.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sometimes he's annoying, but he's the best.
As brothers should be, right?
Yeah.
He's got to keep it in check a little bit. But today we're talking about short-term missions trip, and both of these ladies have been on a short-term mission trip. And also, Katie, this year you sent children on a trip without you, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and see the dynamics of that. So tell me a little bit about y'all's first trip, maybe individually, and when that was.
Okay. So 3 summers ago, I guess that would be 2024, Rainbow Forest was sending a group to Guatemala. And when they first announced it the previous fall, I got really excited, and I sort of felt maybe that we were called to go. And Abby had been talking about looking into missions for a while, and so I thought maybe we could go together and it would be a good chance for us to experience it. I did not personally feel equipped to be a missionary or to minister to people. I was really worried and nervous about what I would possibly do, but I wanted to go with Abby.
Sure.
So we prayed about it and talked about it as a family, and we signed up to go. So we went in July of 2024.
Awesome.
With Rainbow Forest.
Wow. So Abby, on that first trip, what was it? What were your thoughts? What made you say yes to this missions endeavor?
I think it was, I've always, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to learn about missions. I wanted to talk to all the missionaries that came to the churches that we were at. I loved reading missionary stories. I loved seeing how God could use people in tough situations to spread the word through sometimes unconventional means, sometimes really hard circumstances. But that just seemed like this is such a cool thing that we get to do to serve God. And so I remember being a little bit nervous the first time that we went, but also really excited to get to go, especially with my mom. So
that's awesome. Did you have some expectations going? Did you think hey, this is going to be a certain way, and you got there, maybe it was a little different for either one of you? I
think so. I think I was not exactly sure what to expect in terms of the people that we were going to be with. The amount of connection that we developed with the pastors and the interpreters and the team there was so much more than I imagined it would be. It was so much more impactful to have those relationships and build those relationships. It wasn't just about the Rainbow Forest group that went, it was about them too. Yeah. We were one team serving together. That was really cool.
Yeah. So Katie, as a mom, your daughter says, hey, I want to go on this trip first time, and then next year Sammy joins both of you, correct? So 24 y'all went, and then 25 all three of you went.
That's right.
What's that like as a parent when your kid comes to you and says, hey, I want to go on this missions endeavor?
It's exciting. I never felt afraid because when we went the first year, I truly felt shepherded by Pastor Lane and the Charlotte's team in Guatemala, and so we always felt so safe and well cared for, and it just felt like a very loving group of people that we were there with, both from America and in Guatemala. And like Abby said, we made some deep connections. So I was excited for Sammy to get to go and meet the people that we already loved and form his own connections and see him grow as a person. And for myself, I was really timid the first time. I was afraid to go on home visits and actually share the gospel with people. I had a fear of doing that, and I got over it pretty quickly. And so I thought it would be great for Sammy also to experience that. And it was wonderful. He really, I think, thrived, and I think he probably grew more this last year without me there. But he did great.
Yeah. So, like, as a parent, you're trusting the Lord, and they for their lives. They're growing up, they're in their teenage years, and they come to you and they say, hey, we want to serve God this week in a foreign land, but with you. But you're still trusting God going together. That has to be a faith expanding situation for them and you, but you get to see it in real time.
Yeah, that was really exciting. I did serve in Guatemala. I was actively doing things, but I also took a step back and just allowed them to form connections with people and to minister, and I watched them instead of leading them all the time.
Right.
And that was really amazing to see how they were developing as more adult. I mean, obviously Sammy's not an adult, but growing into becoming an adult.
Sure.
And I think an issue sometimes when you have young children is that God has been faithful in your own life. You've seen how he's worked in your own life, but trusting him to shepherd your children and for you to take a step back is something that parents have to work on as their children are getting older. So this was good for me. It was an exercise in doing that.
Yeah. What a blessing. It's the idea, you as a parent, you want to protect your kids as best as you can, but at the same time, you're preparing them.
That's right.
And for whatever the Lord has for their life. Was there any certain maybe aspects, you could tell us that helped you and Mark prepare the kids for maybe a missions mindset, a missions identity in their life?
So we've homeschooled, and in our homeschool, the homeschool curriculum that we use does have a missions. The people who wrote the curriculum have a love for missions.
Sure.
And so they've incorporated some of that into the school. And so like Abby said, she read a lot of missionary stories. Some of that was incorporated into our curriculum. And we did spend an entire year focusing on other countries around the world, what their culture is like. And we also talked about like what are the needs of the people in this country. And we would pray for people in those countries. And so I think we kind of incorporated it in our family discussions for years before we ever really even considered going on a mission trip together. And you don't have to homeschool to do that.
Sure, absolutely.
There's some, YWAM publishes some great missionary books that
Those
Abby...
are some of my favorites.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have also audiobook versions of them,
Yeah.
and she would read them and talk about them. Another thing I think is that I've always focused with my kids on reminding them that everybody in the world is made in God's image.
Yeah.
We're all image bearers.
Yeah.
And because of that, every single person is deserving of God's love and deserving of our love and respect.
Right.
Like a godly type of love of wanting what's best for them.
Sure.
And so I've tried to teach my children that no matter what somebody looks like or where they live or what language they speak or what their culture is like, they are a valuable and loved and an image bearer of God.
Yeah, that's awesome. As we fast forward to the 26th trip, I mean, it kind of takes a little bit of a why. I mean, now you and Mark are staying here, and the kids have decided to go on this trip. How did you feel kind of God pulling you to the trip this year, deciding to go on that?
I remember it was a random day. We were out and in Roanoke, and we were passing by. There's this Latin grocery store, and I saw some cultural things through the window. I was like, I'm going to Guatemala. I have to go to Guatemala. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
I miss the people.
Yeah.
I want to go back. And this was maybe this past winter.
Sure.
So it was several months before the trip. It was a little bit before we needed to like commit to going.
Yeah.
But I just felt all of a sudden God was saying, have you forgotten how good it was? Like you need to go back.
Yeah.
But it was kind of scary once we learned that Mama couldn't go.
Yeah.
I was scared partially because I get nervous sometimes, like traveling. And usually those are just little things that make me nervous. But I was like, traveling in a foreign country without my parents, I've never done that before.
That's a big deal.
And I'll have my brother, and there's part of me that wants to protect him, but I also want to let him be his own person, and so I was worried that was going to be something that I would struggle with.
Right. we joked a little bit about that on the first part of the trip. We kind of let that go after a while that you were Sammy's mom, and he didn't appreciate that too much, but so we let that kind of slide out the way there. But it was really exciting, I think, to see a brother-sister combo go who had previously gone with a parent and now kind of stepping into their faith, their walk with the Lord, their desire to serve in a foreign context. And that's really a testament to you guys, and I really appreciate that. I'm so encouraged by that. So many others can admire that, and I think can look at that as an example. Like that's a great thing to strive for, and it's not for the super spiritual. It's just for the everyday moms and dads to plant that seed of serving God, loving His Word, and then taking that around the world, really. So what was it like as she and Sammy were going? You were staying now. What was that like for you and Mark now being at home and knowing, pretty much knew the itinerary, what they were going to be doing, when they were going to be there, and that sort of thing for you at home?
I have to be honest, I was jealous.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to go.
Sure.
I just was not able to. I had prior commitments.
Yeah.
And so I was excited for them. I was missing them a lot, especially as the week went on. I really missed them. And even though we've been apart before, if they've gone to camp and the like, and I never was worrying. I knew that they would be okay.
Sure.
Ultimately, we're all going to be okay.
That's right.
And that's kind of my attitude most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't tend to worry about the same kinds of things that Abby worries about.
Sure.
So the traveling and being in a foreign country, that didn't worry me. I was sort of worried about their relationship and kind of the older sister, younger brother dynamic. Without a mom to intervene. So thanks for
That's right.
as necessary.
Yeah.
But I was also really just excited for them, and I couldn't wait to hear how things were going when they got back.
Yeah.
We did get a chance to talk a few times, but as the week progressed, Abby called me less, and then she was barely responding to any text. So I was like,
I was wondering how the communication went.
And I gathered that she was just busy talking and having fun and relating to people, and she was like, I'll talk to you when we get home.
It was also kind of like emotionally and physically exhausting to try to re-explain what had happened,
relive all
the
those
day.
things. Yeah, that's true. So how did you find yourself praying differently for them this year as they're gone?
I was praying that they would be able to understand themselves what God had for them, right? Yeah. So that they would have wisdom. Like, not for me to have wisdom and how to help lead them in these situations, but for them to lead themselves, really, right? Through the Holy Spirit. Right. So, and that God would show them opportunities to talk to people and to love people, and that they would learn. I was also kind of praying, hey, maybe Sammy can get some more Spanish practice in here.
Spiritual and practical.
That's right. And I was also praying for the people that we knew, like Charlotte and Oscar and others that that they would love my kids and my kids would love them. And so it was more about them hearing from God
Sure.
instead of me hearing from God and telling them.
Yeah. All right, Abby, real quick. What's a God moment from the trip this past year? Like you really felt maybe sticks out in your mind? Were you seeing really God work through you, or
I think it was learning to trust Him with all the little details. Like when everyone started getting sick. That was a little nerve-wracking. But then also, like, as soon as we heard people were getting sick, we were like, okay, what can we do? And we just figured out, okay, we have a plan. It's going to work. And so then I was leading the other group instead of you because you were out.
a little apprehended at that moment?
But, like, there were so many little things that God just worked out. Like, we had an extra board for me to tell the story. We had enough people that were left to lead the kids.
Yeah.
And the story actually was probably more appropriate for the age that it ended up being because we were told it would be older kids and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so... and then getting to see some of the kids that we had seen in previous years, recognizing them and seeing that they still had curiosity. They were still wanting to hear what we had to say about God. That was really encouraging for me. And it was really encouraging to see God working in Sammy.
Yeah.
He really stepped up to the plate this year.
That's for sure.
He filled into himself a lot. Constantly asking people if they were drinking water, if they were doing okay, checking up on people, encouraging
me
us.
included.
Yes, yeah. Encouraging us. He was a really big encouragement to me.
Yeah.
I was really proud of him.
Yeah, that's awesome. As we wind it down today, I want you to complete this sentence. Every student should go or consider going on a short-term trip because, and then I want you to give your version. Every parent should consider sending their kid because.
Okay. Every student should go on mission or consider going on mission because it's going to change the way that you think about God, and it's going to change the way that you understand how He works and how good He is.
That's awesome.
Every parent should send a child on a mission trip because it's not often that they will have the opportunity to step out of our culture and see what it's like in another part of the world. And I think that the more we understand about the rest of the world, the better that we can serve.
That's awesome. Those are great advice, admissions, encouragements for us to consider. Thank y'all for your time and great interview, and just be able to sit down and talk about our wonderful trip. It was a great trip.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. And if you have any questions about it, now these aren't the only set of parents that went or sent. There's several others, and if we could help you in any way, consider going on a short-term trip. Love to talk with you about it. God bless.